Okay, so we'll get started. And I'm going to read a piece by Sean Korn, who's one of my favorite and most influential yoga teachers, who wrote about how grief transforms us. And this comes up every time I'm in an experience of grief, like with the passing of my father-in-law. I always reflect back on her teachings around grief because I heard her speak about this at Yogaphoria years and years ago, and was so thankful to find this piece that she wrote that echoed what she had said in that in-person workshop, because it just felt really powerful. So she wrote this about her experience with grief and the passing of her father. And she says, grief is non-discriminatory, often inconvenient, can hit us like a brick, render our lives utterly and infinitely transformed, and open us to levels of vulnerability, tenderness, and even gratitude. It is so raw, so inexpressible that it can only truly be considered unapologetically, perfectly, blindingly as purely human and ultimately unavoidable if we live long enough to endure both the pain and the joy that is life. My father died in 2010 after a long, brutal struggle with cancer that left his body ravaged, his soul exposed, and us, his tiny family, bewildered in the strange toss-up between acceptance and disbelief. He held me once, not too long before that was physically impossible, and told me I would never again feel so ripped open. Remember this feeling, he told me as I studied the new tumor on his shoulder that I could swear wasn't there just hours before. Your grief will either consume you or set you free. It won't feel this way right now because you're in it, he said, but you will come through, you will heal, you will grow, and you will be grateful. I told him to go F himself. And we laughed hard until we cried at the horror of it all and the beauty that we knew we would both one day come to understand. Me as I struggled to let him go, him as he accepted he had no choice but to. I won't pretend to understand your heartbreak, your loss, or the power of your grief. I will never say, I know just how you feel, because I don't. I only know how my grief felt, and I honor that place in you that tastes some version of that sadness. I do know that if you have the strength to sit side by side with it, breathe into it, open yourself up to the wave after wave after wave of impossible and sometimes conflicting emotions that arise, that healing is possible. One of my father's last requests of me was that I was to eulogize him at his funeral. I stood there, my father's wasted body in the coffin behind me, and looked around the room into the eyes of the different expressions of grief staring back at me. I saw devastation in my grandmother. I saw relief in my mother. I saw anger in my brother. I saw numbness in many. I took a breath and said, I always knew this moment would happen, that I would stand before you all and say goodbye to my father, and I knew it would be hard, but I underestimated the intensity of this moment. It is beyond hard. The pain I feel is worse than I imagined, and my grief feels palpable. But to grieve this hard can only mean that in this lifetime I got to love that big, and for that I am grateful. May your journey through your own grief awaken you to levels of knowing, empathy, and peace that frees your own soul, opens you to love big, and allows you to embrace the beauty, the sweetness, and the unbearable but glorious impermanence of it all. And I think that one of the things about an emotion like grief is that it is so universally human that we all carry some level and package of grief within us everywhere we go, from the people and the places and things and animals and life that we've loved and lost. And this is one of those connections and those human experiences that yoga teaches us to embrace, and that there is this union where we all are connected and the same in this way. So we'll work with that a little today. And let's start by taking a comfortable seat back here and sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Welcome your breath. And feel the ground beneath you. Let your hips and legs get heavy. Surrendering the weight of your body to gravity and to the earth. And then as you inhale, lengthen up your spine, take your shoulders up, back, and down. Let your heart center open and lift. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. In yoga, we always play with this notion of the balance that exists in life, from the yin to the yang, the light to the shadow. And when we realize that grief is the shadow to the light that is love, maybe then we can begin to open our hearts to that full experience. I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. It could be simply to hold space for yourself and whatever grief may be in your life right now, small or large. Or just to lean into your own humanness and all of the vast array of emotions that we experience hourly, daily, by the minute. And to give yourself grace. We'll seal in our intentions and begin our class with 3 cleansing breaths. Take a deep breath in and let it go with a sigh. 2 more like that. And gently bow your head to your heart. Slowly open your eyes, release your hands. And we'll start by coming down onto our backs. And here you could bring the soles of your feet together, your knees wide in Supta Baddha Konasana. If this is too much on your hips, you could place blocks under your thighs. And take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Take a moment and feel the ground beneath you, letting your body get heavy. And see if here you could practice shedding some weight, letting go of anything that you're carrying, any stress, anything that's heavy. Allowing the tension in your body and on the surface of your skin to melt away. Inhale your knees back up to center. Cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. You could stay just like this, or pick up your right foot, interlace your hands behind your thigh or on top of your shin. See if you could level out the weight on your sacrum, your low back. Keep your shoulders back and down. Take a moment to relax your tongue in your mouth. Make a little space between your lower jaw your upper jaw. Soften your belly. Breathe. Release the clasp of your hands, bring your right foot back down to the ground. Take your arms out to a T or to cactus. Breathe in, and as you exhale, drop your knees over to the left. Take your gaze out over your right shoulder. So here your left heel can press on the outside of your right thigh. Stretch through the IT band. Inhale, come back through center and go ahead and switch sides. Left foot comes down, right ankle crosses over the top of the left thigh. You could stay just like this or pick up your left foot and interlace your hands behind your left thigh or on top of your shin. Take a few more breaths here. With every exhale, see if there's something you could shed or release. Release the clasp of your hands, bring your left foot back down to the ground. Take your arms out to that T or cactus, breathe in, and as you exhale, bring both knees over to the right. You could take your gaze out over your left shoulder. Inhale back through center, hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a little massage here on your low back, rock side to side. Make little circles, whatever feels best. Go ahead, roll to your right side, come all the way up and find child's pose. Knees wide, big toes together. Send your hips back towards your heels. Inhale, come up to all fours, finding a tabletop position. And move through a few rounds of cat-cow here. As you inhale, arch your back, bring your gaze up. And as you exhale, round. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine, then come to sit. Take a comfortable cross-legged seat, bring your hands to your knees, and find some hip circles here. Just moving in whichever direction feels best first. And go ahead and switch directions. Slowly spiral back up to center and then rock side to side. From one sitting bone to the other. And go ahead and rock front to back. Come back to center. You can change the cross of your legs. Bring your arms down by your sides, fingertips on the ground, take your shoulders up, back and down. As you inhale, turn your palms up, reach up, look up. Exhale, float the arms back down. Flow like this. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release. Move with your breath. Exhale, release. Keep your right fingers down. Inhale your left arm up in line with your ear. Exhale, reach out and over to your right. Keep the left sitting bone rooted. Breathe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release. And second side. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale, reach out and over to the left. Keep your right sitting bone rooted. Inhale up to center, reach both arms up. And as you exhale, twist to the right, bring your right hand behind you, left hand to your right knee. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Inhale, arms up as you unwind, and exhale, take it to the other side. Twist to the left, left hand behind you, right hand to your left knee. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, unwind, arms up, and exhale, release. We'll do a seated cat-cow, but for this, we're gonna take our arms out to the sides. You'll keep your elbows slightly bent. Elbow tips can come forward of your wrists so that you can feel your shoulder blades wrap onto your back. And as you inhale, arch your spine, lift your heart. As you exhale, give yourself a hug and round your back. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, you can alternate arms, crossing one over top, and then that one goes on the bottom. One more. And inhale, come back to center. Let's make our way from here into downward facing dog. And just take a few breaths in down dog. The energy of our practice today and working with grief and holding space for our emotion and our energy is such that give yourself some room to settle in here. Let down dog feel how it feels. If it feels really good, energizing, or if it feels like too much, lean into whatever you find. You can always come into child's pose. Inhale, come forward to a high plank, high push-up, and bring your knees down. Lift your feet up. Take your shoulder blades onto the back of your heart. Take a breath in here. Gaze forward. As you exhale, bend your elbows straight back. Lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Pick up your right knee, lengthen it back, bring it down. Same thing with your left. And then extend your legs. Press the tops of your feet down into the earth. Inhale, heart forward and up, little baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come into child's pose, knees wide, big toes to touch. Send your hips back towards your heels. When you're ready, come back into down dog. Inhale, walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Exhale as you fold, bowing over your legs. Your knees could stay slightly bent here. And inhale, lengthen halfway to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow in. Keep moving with your breath. One more. Press down into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, bow forward and fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, big step back with your left leg. Find your lunge here, right knee over your right ankle. Keep your left hand down, inhale, sweep your right arm up. Exhale, release. Bring your back knee down. You could pad your knee here if you like. Maybe hands come up onto blocks. Or you can walk your hands up onto your front thigh. And just take a few breaths here. Draw your right hip back. And then allow your pelvis to move down and forward. Press your hands into your thigh, draw your belly in, pull your ribs back, take your shoulders up, back and down, heart lifts. Breathe. Good stages like this are inhale, arms up. Exhale, release, downward facing dog. You can move through a vinyasa here, stay in down dog, or find child's pose. From downward facing dog, inhale, walk your feet forward to meet your hands, and exhale as you fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway to a flat back. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more. This time, take a big step back with your right leg. Find your high lunge. Keep your right hand down. Inhale, sweep your left arm up. Exhale, release. Bring your back knee down. You could keep your hands on blocks. Walk your hands up onto your front thigh, whatever edge you want to stop at, you can honor that. Your hands are on your thigh. You'll press your palms into your thigh, draw your belly in, pull your ribs back, shoulders back, heart lifts. Breathe. Good stay just like this, or arms reach. Exhale, release, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts as you inhale, lunge it forward as you exhale. Step it all the way up in between your hands. Pivot your back heel down. Find heel to arch alignment. Cartwheel your arms up, warrior two. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Press into your front foot, straighten your front leg, lean back. Inhale, float your arms up to a T. Exhale, reach your fingers forward, find Trikonasana. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down, downward facing dog. You can move through a vinyasa or stay in down dog. Child's pose is always an available option. Left leg lifts as you inhale, lunge it forward as you exhale. Pivot your back heel down, find heel to arch alignment, cartwheel your arms up, warrior two. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Press into your front foot, straighten your front leg. Reverse triangle, and then inhale, arms up to a T. Exhale, reach towards your toes. Find Trikonasana at the side. A little bend into your front knee, cartwheel your arms down, downward facing dog one more time. You can move through a final vinyasa here. And when you're ready, come to sit. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide, Baddha Konasana. Now is a good time to hydrate as we make this transition. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge from your hips as you fold forward. Inhale to rise. Take your legs wide. You could have blocks here. Nice to support your arms sometimes. Kneecaps face up towards the sky, toes up towards the sky. Sit up nice and tall. See that you're towards the fronts of your sitting bones. Take a breath in, lengthen your spine, and exhale, hinge from your hips as you fold forward. Upavishta Konasana. You could rest your forearms on your blocks, relax your shoulders, maybe let the head hang. Inhale, lock your hands in. Bring your hands to the backs of your thighs to guide your legs back to center. We're going to come into a couple of supported poses with blocks here. So the first will be hard bench, where you could take one block to its middle setting, that'll run along your spine, and another block at its higher setting for your head. Come just sit with your knees bent, feet on the ground, spine nice and long. Inhale, exhale, come down onto the first block. It should start at your thoracic spine and run right between your shoulder blades. The second block catches your head. Bring your arms down by your sides with your palms face up. You could keep your knees bent and feet on the ground, or knock your knees together. Extend your legs long. Here, can you practice leaning into the support of your props? Letting go of the need to hold yourself up. Letting go of the work that it takes to always be doing. Letting go of the work that it takes to always be strong. Instead, here, can you allow yourself to be just as you are? Can you allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you feel? Just a few more breaths here. Inhale your knees back to center. Slowly come to your right side, coming off of your blocks. Give yourself a moment to pause here. go ahead and have one block nearby, come onto your back. Place the soles of your feet on the ground, sitting bone distance apart, feet parallel. Press down into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips and place a block under your sacrum for a supported bridge. And have your arms down by your sides with your palms face up. Walk your shoulder blades underneath you so that the collarbones are broad. Check back in again with your tongue in your mouth. And see if you can let go of the tension that's held here. Press into your feet, inhale, lift your hips, move the block off to the side. Take your feet as wide as your mat, arms out to a T or cactus. Breathe in here, and as you exhale, drop your knees over to the right, look out over your left shoulder. Inhale back through center, exhale, knees to the left, look out over your right shoulder. Inhale, knees back to center, hug both knees into your chest and find happy baby. Hug your knees back into your chest. Roll to your right side. Come on up. For Shavasana today, we will take legs up the wall, if that's available to you. If not, you could do a regular Shavasana. But if you're doing legs up the wall, you'll bring the short edge of your mat to the wall. Come to sit with your right hip against the wall. Knees bent, feet on the ground. Lean back on your hands with a nice tall spine, and then pivot, bringing your legs up the wall. You can scoot yourself in. You could bring your arms down by your sides with your palms face up, or place your palms somewhere on your body. Take a moment here and focus on your heart center. And as you inhale, imagine that you're breathing in a beautiful emerald green, allowing the color to fill the space of your heart. And as you exhale, let go of any tension. You could stay with the color green for as long as feels good for you. Whenever you're ready, you could let that go and let your breath be soft and natural. And give yourself permission here to fully relax into Shavasana. And slowly start to deepen your breath. If your legs are up the wall, you could walk your feet down the wall, hug your knees into your chest. Slowly roll to your side. And take your time coming back up to sit. Once you arrive in a comfortable seat, close your eyes and bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take a moment and call back your intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. Feeling free to modify or change it in any way to carry with you off of your mat, back out into your life. And take a moment to honor the full spectrum of human experience. How bright and light we feel when we love. And the shadow of grief and the hole that the lack of that love, the loss of that love creates. And finally, take a moment to honor all of those that we've lost, knowing that we're forever connected in our hearts. And then let's end our class with a final cleansing breath. Take a deep breath in and let it go with a sigh. Gently bow your head to your heart. The light within me recognizes and honors this very same light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice. Thanks for being here with me virtually in the new space.